This happened when I was 15, and even though it's been nearly a decade, I still refuse to play hide and seek. Not with friends, not with cousins, not even as a joke. Once you've experienced something watching you from the dark, something that shouldn't have been there, the idea of hiding becomes terrifying. It happened during a sleepover at my friend Nathan's house. There were 4 of us: me, Nathan, his younger brother Luke, and our friend Tyler. It was winter break, and his parents were away for the weekend on a business trip. We were all excited because Nathan's house was massive: 3 floors, a huge basement, long hallways, tons of rooms. It was pretty much the perfect place to play hide and seek in the dark, which is exactly what we ended up doing. Around 11 p.m., after playing games and eating junk food, we shut off all the lights and decided to play manhunt, which was basically hide and seek, except the seeker used a tiny keychain flashlight with barely any brightness. The hiders used the darkness to their advantage. I volunteered to be the seeker first. I kind of regret that decision now. It's counted to 60 in the living room while the other guys scattered across the house. When I turned around with the tiny flashlight, the whole place felt different. Quiet, heavy, like the darkness had soaked into the walls. I started searching. The first floor was easy. No one hid there because it was too open. The second floor, with all the bedrooms, was where things started to feel creepy. Every room felt like it was holding its breath. The silence was suffocating. I checked the guest room, the closet, under beds. Nothing. Then I went to Nathan's parents' room. It always felt unnerving to be in there without them home. Too empty, too clean. I entered quietly, scanning with the little flashlight. I checked behind the curtains, behind the dresser, under the bed. Still nothing. I was crouched down, about to leave, when I heard a faint rustling from the hallway. Not loud, just a tiny shifting sound, like someone adjusting their position. "Got you," I whispered, thinking one of the guys had moved. I walked out into the hallway and shined the light down both directions. Nothing, just a long, dim hallway leading into darkness. Then I noticed something weird. The attic door, a square wooden panel in the ceiling, had the string hanging down. It was normally flush with the ceiling, but now the string dangled at face level. I whispered to myself, no way one of them went up there. The attic in Nathan's house was freezing cold and pitch black. None of us ever went up there because it creeped everyone out. But the string was definitely hanging. I thought maybe one of the guys pulled it to spook me, then hid somewhere nearby. So I called out, "If someone's up there, I'm counting it as a win for me." Silence. I stood there for a full 10 seconds, debating whether to pull the string. Finally, curiosity won. I tugged the cord, and the attic door dropped open slightly, lowering the folding ladder. A cold wave of air washed down over me, bitter, stale, and sharp. I shined the tiny flashlight up into the opening. The light didn't reach far. It just dissolved into the dark. I whispered, "Hello?" hoping for a laugh or a giggle. Nothing. The house was so quiet I could hear the faint hum of the refrigerator downstairs. Against my better judgment, I climbed 3 steps up the ladder and poked my head into the attic. It was freezing. My breath came out in white puffs. The air felt wrong, like I had stepped into somewhere I didn't belong. I scanned the flashlight slowly across the attic floor, looking for movement, shoes, anything. But the beam was weak. It only illuminated boxes, furniture covered in sheets, and dusty shelves. Just as I was about to climb back down, I heard it. Breathing. Not mine. A soft, slow, raspy inhale, followed by a longer exhale. I froze instantly. The breathing wasn't far away. It wasn't from a corner. It was on the same side of the attic I was on. "Close," I whispered, barely audible. "Guys, not funny." The breathing stopped, and in the silence, something shifted in the darkness. A soft, dragging movement across the floorboards, like someone crawling. My whole body went stiff. I scrambled down the ladder, so fast I almost fell. When my feet hit the floor, I turned and shoved the ladder up with all my strength, slamming the attic door shut. I stood there in the hallway, chest pounding, staring at the ceiling like something might burst through it. Before I could even catch my breath, I heard footsteps behind me, fast ones. I spun around, heart in my throat, only to see Nathan running down the hallway, laughing. "Dude, you still haven't found us? What took you so long?" I didn't even answer him. I said, "Were you in the attic?" He froze. His smile dropped instantly. "No, dude. You know I hate the attic." Tyler and Luke came out of the guest room laughing, saying they'd been hiding under the bed together. None of them had been in the attic. I didn't tell them what I heard, just said I was done playing Seeker. We played 2 more rounds. This time, Nathan was Seeker, but I couldn't focus. I kept glancing up at the ceiling, half expecting the attic door to open by itself. Around 1 a.m., we got tired and decided to watch a movie in the basement. The basement in Nathan's house was huge and surprisingly cozy, but I kept imagining footsteps above us. Every slight creak made my skin crawl. Halfway through the movie, Nathan paused it and said, "Hold up. Do you guys hear that?" We all turned our heads toward the stairs. There were footsteps upstairs, slow, heavy, moving down the hallway, not even trying to be quiet. Luke looked nervous. "Is that your dog?" Nathan shook his head. "No, he's at our neighbor's. We don't want him home alone." The footsteps continued for a few seconds, then stopped right above us. Tyler laughed nervously. "Dude, your house is haunted." But he didn't sound confident. We sat frozen until Nathan finally said he was going to check. He grabbed a pool cue from the corner and went upstairs. He disappeared up the stairs, and the basement got dead silent. 30 seconds passed. Then a minute. Then almost 2. I finally called out, "Nathan." No response. Tyler muttered, "Bro, this isn't funny." Finally, Nathan came running down the stairs, completely pale. "One's in the house." Everything inside me dropped. He wasn't joking. Had never seen him look like that. Ever. We immediately called TD1. The operator told us to stay in the basement and lock the door if possible. We gathered near the corner, listening. Heard footsteps again, this time faster, almost frantic, moving across the 2nd floor, then down the hall, toward the attic entrance. Then everything went quiet. The cops arrived within minutes. They checked the entire house, every room, every closet, every corner, but they found no one. Then one of the officers noticed something that made my stomach twist. On the attic ladder, there were footprints, bare footprints, leading down the ladder. And in the attic, behind a stack of old boxes, they found a makeshift sleeping area. A blanket, a pillow, crumpled food wrappers, empty water bottles. Someone had been living up there for days, maybe weeks, watching the family move around the house, watching us play, listening, breathing in the dark while we slept. The police said the person must have escaped out the back while they were searching the house. They never caught him. We stayed at Tyler's house. None of us slept. I didn't tell them the worst part, that I had been inches away from the attic floor when I heard that breathing. That if I had climbed 1 step higher, the flashlight might have illuminated something crouched in the darkness, watching me, waiting. To this day, whenever a house creaks at night, I go still. I never, ever play hide and seek again.